Hello, everyone, and welcome to the CMO Stories Podcast, Season 2, Episode 45. My name is Juri Bilast, and today it's a short solo episode. As you perhaps have heard, I'm giving a 3-session masterclass around Web3. The first one was around Web3 and digital identity. The second one was last week actually around NFTs. And third and last one is tomorrow, Thursday, and it will be around the metaverse. So if you missed the first 2 sessions, you can still get the recordings, but just for this podcast episode, I would like to give you some thoughts from those sessions. So in session 1, we talked about Web3 and digital identity. First thing I did was explain my path into Web3 because that's quite an interesting story, but I won't repeat this here. You can still go and watch the recordings. We talked about the difference between Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3. I also made a TikTok around that. So actually Web 1 was about reading, consuming information on the internet. Web 2 is about reading stuff on the internet, consuming, but also writing stuff on the internet, like what social media do. However, the problem with social media is that you don't own your data. It's companies like Facebook who own your data, and they can delete your account at the moment that they want to do that. So you don't own it. And that can be an issue. And then the promise of Web3 is that you really own your data. But if you want to know more, just go back to this first session. So we talked about the definition of Web3, decentralized internet. It includes blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, the metaverse. Blockchain makes everything secure and transparent. It empowers users and not the corporations. And the goal is to have a more open internet, I would say. Blockchain is like a chain of blocks, really a chain of blocks. It's a digital ledger for secure transactions. There is no need for a middleman. Transactions can't be changed on the blockchain. It's faster, cheaper, more transparent, and could actually replace the traditional systems. We talked about digital wallets, about what is a public key, a private key, and a seed phrase. And next to that, we discussed the differences between a hot wallet, a warm wallet, and a cold wallet. Every type of these wallets has advantages. And then, there's also a short video around the digital wallets on my TikTok, my Facebook Reels, and my Instagram Reels. And there is also some interesting content on my YouTube channel, by the way. I have some YouTube shorts and also long video content. Talked about MetaMask because that's one of the most, I would say, popular wallets that you can use to access not only your crypto, but also NFTs, to access metaverses, like for instance, spatial, to access avatars, to Ready Player Me, to access other sites. Everything can work through your MetaMask, which is actually the wallet is actually your digital identity. But to make it more easier, we talked about Web3 domain names. I have, for instance, the domain name yuri.nft, and I have cmostories.it. Those are unstoppable domains and ENS domains, which was actually first, are the 2 main players. And what is actually the advantage of those domain names? What is the use? I compare it with Web 2 domain names. Web 2 domain name, like my website, web3.net, is actually an IP address that is translated into this domain name. And so I can just give my domain name to people and they can find my website through a browser. The same thing happens with Web3 domain names. It translates actually Web3 domain name to a complex wallet address. So I don't need to give anymore my wallet address, which is really complex. You cannot remember it, and also easy to make mistakes. So it builds more trust, it builds more security, it's more safer. It's actually a digital identity that you can remember. to give that to other people. So your Web3 digital domain name is really something that you should look at. We talked about my podcast, CMO Stories. We talked about different episodes that you can listen to. Actually, it's like a menu in a restaurant. That you go to the podcast website, which is cmo-stories.com, or just to my blog, web3.net, and you have a look at what are all the episodes around digital identity, what are all the episodes around NFTs, what are all the episodes around metaverse, and then based on what you want to learn, you can select a couple of episodes. So that was actually the first session. What did we discuss in the second session, which was actually around NFTs? What are non-fungible tokens? We gave a short definition about them. So the most important thing is that they are non-fungible, those NFTs, so they cannot be exchanged on a one-to-one basis. And that's different than, for instance, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, or even traditional things like the dollar or the euro. $1 equals $1. It doesn't matter. If I give you $1, you give my $1 in return, it's still the same thing. It doesn't change anything. But with NFTs, it's different. Every NFT is unique. And also there's the aspect of ownership and scarcity in NFTs. It's important. It's a verifiable digital ownership of a unique digital asset. It's on the blockchain. It's really clear who it belongs and where it comes from. And there is also the rarity aspect, because these assets are unique. You can think about limited editions or one-of-a-kind items can be also interesting for collectors, for instance. There is also the aspect of indivisibility, if that's a word in English. So you cannot, as I said, because you cannot split them up, like for instance, $1, you can split up in cents. A Bitcoin you can also split up, but you cannot split up an NFT. And then there is the aspect of smart contracts and metadata, which also make an NFT a useful instrument, not only for the art, but for the utilities and for everything you get and all the rules actually that are defined into the smart contract. You can also, for instance, define commission if you buy an NFT and you sell it, that the owner, can be you, can be someone else, that the creator actually, I meant, of the NFT can still get a commission. We talked about NFT NYC also, because we saw a lot of engagement, a lot of things happening on Twitter. So NFTs are really still a thing. There were a lot of tweets, a lot of pictures. We also discussed the NFTs that I have created myself, the password protected NFT, the community NFT, the survey NFT, and the survey NFT, which gives you access to the results of the survey around the state of Web3 marketing. Now, also for this masterclass that I'm giving now, so session 1, session 2, and session 3, there are recordings for every session, and you will get access to those sessions if you have the NFT. And so for people who are attending the sessions, I will give them the NFT for free, and this NFT will unlock the access to the recordings. And they have an NFT, a limited edition NFT that they can keep, or even they can sell it afterwards if they would like to. So we talked about all that. I also explained how I created the NFTs and how I minted the NFTs, because there is a step-by-step procedure plan that you need to follow to create it and to mint it. That's actually what I will be discussing or what I'm discussing in the Web3 Marketing Mastermind that I have launched. We have already 3 members at the moment. I'm looking to add more members. The more members, the merrier. But the first members, of course, they have the advantage of being in a smaller group, of learning a lot, and also of paying the lowest price that there will ever be. We talked about some of the NFTs that I have that give me access to events. An NFT that is actually my ownership certificate of the penthouse that I have in the metaverse. I will also talk about this in the last session of the free masterclass that I'm giving. I talked about PO-apps and what those are. And yeah, I also have a few PO-apps myself, which is an interesting type of NFT, which proves you have attended a certain event. So if you don't know about PO-apps, it's also definitely something to look at. And then at the end, we talked about different other ideas, like using an NFT linked to a book. For instance, if I publish my next book, maybe it will be an NFT so that people can buy the NFT and then directly get access to the book and even are able to sell the NFT and the book if they would like to. Could also be an NFT, could also be an access to a course, could also be access to a mastermind, by the way. Could also be access to community, so that the NFT is actually the key to unlock the door to access the community. We talk about token gate communities in that context, so that's also a good use case for an NFT. So now, if you're now listening to this podcast and you think, this is really interesting, but I want to learn more, well, you can watch the masterclass series and you can send me a DM, a message on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you can find me. And then I will be happy to have a chat with you about the Web3 Mastermind. That's for marketers, entrepreneurs that want to do something with Web3. They want to use Web3 for their business. They want to be ahead of the game, ahead of the curve, but they don't know where to start because they don't know anyone that can help them and they don't have a community with people they can talk to. For those people, I have the W3X Web3 Mastermind. So send me a DM on social media and I'll be happy to have a chat with you and to see if you like to join. Thank you so much for listening and I hope to see you back next time. Take care.